FOKUS versus FPX. And we talked about this earlier again in our pre-show. What can these two actually kind of show for this game? We talked about FPX, but we also talked about FOKUS and their ability to potentially take the win today.
Yeah, exactly. They're getting closer and closer. They didn't secure a map on the first week. They did on the second week against Ascend, and it was their bind. These team, even though they're the newcomers, they don't look weak at all. They don't look any different. Of course, they're playing against bigger and bigger opponents as the weeks go by, but the evolvement that we're seeing within the team play, how they are adapting to playing against the bigger teams, it's endearing to say the least.
Well, in my eyes, they are the best drilled team after Fnatic in our region, and that says a lot. Because one, that either paints the picture that other teams are just not good enough when it comes to that department, which is unfortunately true, but also I like to praise the fact that they actually play on a fundamental level like really well. They cover the bases, and I think it comes from the mindset, the grind that they put into the game to be in this spot in the first place is because they outplayed on fundamental level the other teams in their own regional league.
Yeah, so that's the thing. The first 2 weeks we can give them for testing, okay? You have already tested the grounds. They know how these big guns play. For today, we expect the win, but obviously their opponent is not going to make it easy.
No, not at all. FOKUS, like you said, this is their first time entering here playing in VCT. They were the #1 team coming from DACH. That's how they got the qualification. But they have a tough opponent again in FPX, but might be the perfect timing to actually go up against them, as FPX have some holes that could be exploited.
I mean, after what we saw last week and the way that they played against G2, I would feel pretty confident in FPX because they identified every single mistake that they made on week 1. And even with just 3 or 4 days, they changed everything and they were comfortable enough to prepare for that. So that's another thing that is going to be very important for here. I think that FOKUS did not change much from what they were playing in DACH and obviously in promotion after, but FPX has had so much time to change so many things.
What do they need for the win then today, FOKUS?
I feel like they need to find the weak point for FPX, and I would say that the weak point of FPX is all the time they're swapping something. FPX is always swapping something, so it's about the improvisation during the match, because if FPX comes again with a composition that has a glaring issue with a department, that has to be recognized and preyed upon. And FOKUS, I feel like, is a good team that could be executing on mistakes or punishing mistakes of your opponents. So I feel that that will be the way for them to win.
All-player matchup for this game. Zipan and your boy, our boy, Lewis.
Just Lewis. Just Lewis.
Literally just Lewis.
So we wanted to compare these two players because it's surprising that they both play on similar roles. They're not only going to be playing that KO that initiated when you needed that extra flashes, they're both also going to go on the race on some maps specific. So of course you have all the experience that Zipan has been having throughout this entirety of Valorant to Lewis that is actually catching up, and especially last week had an amazing performance.
And Lewis actually came to my chat after this match and said, look, next week I'm gonna do more satchel plays.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, bro, okay, because there were some flashy plays that we have seen so far in the previous weeks, and he had some really on Fracture. There was fantastic like double satchel plays coming onto A side. Are you
saying that just because he came to your chat?
Yes, of course. That's the only reason why I'm doing that. But seriously, satchel plays from Lewis and Zipan are both something to expect, and they are just so hard to stop if you don't have the tools to do it. And the best tools are that, like, just traps from Chamber, stuns from Neon or from Breach. Those are the best tools to stop a race.
Well, does FPX have the right tools? Of course, FOKUS' opponent, so we'll shift our focus to FPX. What can they offer in this game? Because they're looking for a top 3. They need to go through FOKUS.
Yes, exactly. After losing against Fnatic, something that some people could foresee, and especially we can justify after what we've seen out of Fnatic. But these are the champions of those playoffs that we had in Stage 1, even though they weren't able to go to Masters. So, of course, there is a lot of raw potential. It's lovely to see also artists coming back, not having Buddy G. Although, shout out to Buddy G, you did amazing on Stage 1. But to me, is what I said before, the growth between week 1 and week 2, having actually the balls to change so many things and still feeling comfortable, knowing what you're going to expect from the other team. So that is another thing that FPX is very strong in, preparation. That is what scares me about today.
Well, that preparation last week was very strong. That I would not expect that team to not pick a breach on Fracture, as I said in the pre-show. And that's another thing that I'm wondering about FPX, what they cooked up for today. Because it seemed like they tried to form their own team against specific opponents. And because of that, they don't have the consistency in roles, they don't have the consistency in the playbook, but they try to be more impromptu.
Yeah, and also if you take a look at the teams that FPX has played in the past, especially in those last 4 matches, they've been Fnatic and G2, you know, old friends that they've met many times in the past, but they've never played against FOKUS. Of course, you know, they have all the votes to just see how they play and expect individual performances, but they've never tested each other on a server before.
Team composition is something we have been going on and on and on about, and we will continue to do so because new agents, because patch changes. So, Lothar, what is there to expect out of FPX here?
Well, just pay attention to this Fracture composition, right? This is actually kind of crazy when you think about it, how big of a swap-up is between Week 1 and Week 2. Week 1 has 2 agents that has full mobility, Yoru and Raze. Week 2, not a single duelist, right? And also no vision initiator. Suddenly on Week 2 we have Fade to cover that base, right? And then we have no breach but a KO for the denial instead of the let's say concussion initiation that the breach delivers. The swap up between the playstyle between those two is so huge, it's like playing against a completely different team, but it has glaring issues. If there's no breach, how do you counter a Killjoy? Fortunately enough, no one plays Killjoy because everyone plays Breach. So if FOKUS says, well, you know what? We pick Killjoy, so they don't play Breach, and FPX is like, you know what? They think we're not gonna play Breach, so they're gonna play Killjoy, so we're gonna play Breach. And then everything fails.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. This is a must-win for FPX today. They're supposed to gather up those extra points to put them solidly into the top 3 because it's not like that competition over there is getting slower. They have even bigger games. Ascend and G2 await over the last 2 weeks. That's a big challenge to overcome.
FPX already played against G2 last week.
What am I doing?
It's okay.
I'm all over. There's so much happening.
It's a lot of names. It happens, of course. But for FPX, I think that the importance of G2 is that G2 has lost this weekend. So things, even though FPX lost against Fnatic, it's still, you know, very close that they're going to make it to playoffs. And I love that we got Xiao on our screen because every single time that FPX, yes, he is my favorite. I'm completely biased.
Tell us at least why.
Yeah.
Because he can play on any agent, be efficient. He is a super smart player and has one of the best fundamentals in the game. To me, Xiao is one of the key parts on FPX. When Angel was not there, he took the IGL role. He did wonders with it. So yeah, forever Xiao.
I still remember, that was Xiao, right? When he picked up Jet for the first time on Icebox?
It wasn't the first time. He had played it before.
Okay.
I've always been there for him.
Okay.
A true stan, a true fan on the other side. Let's see which maps we're going to have in this series. Again, a best of 3 series, our second one and last one of today and this week. Breeze, Fracture, and Ascent.
Okay.
We get 3 breezes on the way.
Okay, I'm not wearing glasses. Who picked? FPX picked Breeze? Wait. Why would it? So this is the thing. I mean, I was talking about preparation for FPX. I was, you know, I had my thoughts between are they going to ban Fracture or Bind after what we saw the last week against Ascent. But I love the fact that they want to surprise, but picking a map where FOKUS
are very decent on
literally
this.
Never lost, I mean, hasn't lost this map in the entirety of this year. Yes, that's what I was going to say. And FPX, this is the map that they drop against G2 on those finals.
Yeah.
So it surprises me, and definitely there's something completely prepared on the side of FOKUS. How do you prepare for a map that you hadn't seen, you know, since that long ago, let's call it like that, without the Chamber and Jet nerves? I expect something different. I do not expect to see a Fate, though. That would be too much, right?
Well, essentially they played the same compositions, if I remember correctly, because it was for FPX, it was Cypher, Jet, KO, Sova, Viper. I'm checking my notes for FOKUS. Jet, Sova, Viper, KO, Cypher. So exactly the same composition. And I always kind of wonder what is in the mind of the teams when they're going into a map that you know your opponent is playing well, because you feel like if we go into a mirror match, that means that we have a better understanding of the map than the opponents, which is, let's say, well, very confident, right? But let's see if there are any changes here. So, for now,
No.
not really.
No, no,
okay.
no. This is what we expected, and Xiao is going to lock in the Jet. So this is going
It's a
to be a
mirror match.
mirror. Yeah, a mirror matchup. I was surprised. I expected to see the changes. Also, remember that the last time that we saw FPX play in here, I think it was Artist that was sick, so probably it was Angel on or Xiao on Jet. I cannot remember now exactly, but I'm really looking forward to see the different approach that we can expect from FPX, so seeing no changes, or maybe they're relying on the fact that they know FOKUS won't bring in changes their way, also maybe no chamber.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to touch actually. 2 Jets, no chamber, means that they value the execution jump on the side to create pressure and space, typically on B side, not on A side, it's not that much needed. And then they choose the Cypher over chamber because they have wider access to security on the map itself, on the defender side, something that BBL didn't have and lost.
Another breeze that we get to see. Well, who would have thought? We needed a bit more sunlight, didn't we? And we get to go to it again. That's FOKUS now versus FPX. We'll toss it to our casters, X-Warrior, and just enjoy.
Breeze before, breeze again. But this time, 2 different teams taking this on in the group of death, in Group A. Jess, this will be exciting.
Yeah, and it won't be quite a breeze for either of these teams. We'll jump into that in a moment. When we come back, don't go anywhere, guys.
Let's get the show on the road. Breeze once again, and FPX start things off on the defense while FOKUS on the attack. Man, I miss it. FPX, they're so cool, but they haven't gotten a win yet. And today is their chance to do that. But it's not going to be easy against FPX.
Oh man, if you've heard me on the desk speak about FOKUS, you know I'm one of the biggest FOKUS fangirls at the moment. But conversely, FPX, another team that stole my heart last stage. So it's one of those teetering balancing acts for me right now. For those wondering about the map video as well, an interesting one. You heard Kukuka sort of give a little bit of exasperated gasp there about it. FPX is the one that chose this map. And for FOKUS fans out there, of which I am one, you'll know they're undefeated on this map, so they're taking them to their own stomping ground.
It's going to be interesting. It really looks like they want to fight this fire with fire. And talking about fire, we'll see a very explosive one out onto the B side. Elbow push coming up from them. But all they gather is that Cypher has been there a second ago. Traversing now towards mid. Simple Traderoo coming out from the Bucha side of things. But as they do cross through mid, it's double doors they may want to enter. Xiao gets the first pick on top of mid, finds safety. But Angel, he's going in for the drop shoot. He is going to do exactly that. Gets one back into safety. 3 bullets. Reload. He's permitted it, but it's so close. Poison Cloud to conceal this position. Your boy Lewis won't give him the opportunity. And Zipan, all that remains for FPX right now.
Vong is such low HP. One little popper shot there. Zipan gets himself into a 1v1. He's in a good position, but the only good position he's in is a headshot fire there for the side of Lewis. And I think for Zipan there, it was a really good opportunity for him to be able to take that pistol. I truly think, even though last series you and I sat here and we watched Mech absolutely wipe the floor with BBL on Breeze, this will be a much closer affair. I really think that, and if FPX has the balls to essentially take the side of FOKUS to one of their stomping grounds, one of their comfort zones, then they themselves will have a plan up their sleeve. And the fact that FOKUS is starting on attack, they're going to have to get a really good, round count here in this first half to show me that this is their map for a reason.
What will kind of be the threshold for you when it comes to the rounds that you get in this half? Where do you think FPX could be comfortable?
I think FOKUS needs at least 5. I know that sounds a bit ridiculous, but I think they need at least 5. And then for FPX, I mean, it's a hard ball game because I really don't know what to expect from them here. Last time we saw them was against G2 in the finals, and this is what I would consider to be a completely different FPX. So quantifying them at this point is rather difficult.
It's a brand new frontier for us to discover. FOKUS to discover. They're going to discover it firsthand. They're the ones playing up against them, of course. And every other team, I'm sure, are looking. Yeah, exactly. 1 + 1 = 2. I can also do maths, by the way. All right. I'm sure all of the teams are actually looking at this matchup. Probably the match of the day. An all-important one. Could dictate a lot in this group. FPX trailing behind of where they would like to be. Loss against Fnatic must be hurtful for them. I'm sure they want to get their vengeance shortly, but for now, they have to deal with the newcomers of the league, FOKUS. entering the site. Yugi with the first blood here. It is expected they do most of the job, but Artis, as long as he's alive, you know he'll be a menace. Quickly shut down though. Shorty play here from Shao, keeping things close, even. Vong close by, but the Guardian will do more damage. And that means that FOKUS get the spike down and have the numbers with FPX locked with Sheriffs at hand. They'll be approaching as soon as the Toxic Stream does go down. But Yugi's got a good angle to hold this back, and Marshall can do so much up against a zero shield lineup. That's exactly what happens to Zipan. One bullet should do it, so he gets his position fully telegraphed. The wide swing from 2 players gets FOKUS. That 2-0.
Something that might be foretelling for the way that FOKUS is going to play, not just this map, but this series, is that they're giving a lot of respect to FPX. And why wouldn't you? I mean, they're Stage 1 champions, so hell yeah, I'm going to be putting a lot of respect on their name. But more in the fundamentals, they had what we would consider to be, you know, much stronger weaponry, and they should be on the upper foot for winning that round. You know, round 2 conversions are very, very common. But they waited until about the 30-second mark. They grabbed that mid control, had elbows squarely in their hands before they committed to the push. And I like that little bit of respect going, you know what? We aren't going to rush this. There's no need for us to. We'll follow our fundamentals, our strategy here, regardless of us having superior weaponry. And that's what I like from FOKUS so far. First 2 rounds firmly in their hands. Now it's the third. This is where we see FPX kick off.
You can see the investment preference towards utility instead of going for the full shields. Confident they can perhaps hit those shots first, but it can be dangerous. Bulldogs can be lethal. Sheriffs as well. Proper range, of course. Elbow push coming out from FOKUS. Smoked off. Shao can't see a thing so far, but Yuki's angle as well as the flash drive will give it away. And now they back out. No info gathered. FPX have dropped fully back from that, but maybe contention to come in from mid. But as they do try and go for it, FOKUS go all the way around towards the main entry of A.
No one's there to receive them either. No one's there to collect them. Really, it's only mid-door contention, and at that point, you gotta hope that some of those weapons hit. I think Angel's read on to this. They know. 30-second mark. We know this is the forte of FOKUS.
Snake right, well, the Toxic Screen now just drop onto the site. They allow the cross, quickly taken down though, true to that 0 point. Quickly close by, your boy Lewis gets it done, but it's quickly traded onto the sideline here. Unable to get past Zipan, unable to do a thing as Shower joins in on the fray. FPX find their way on the board when the opportunity is given to them.
No real pushing power into the site there. Obviously, we spoke about them having that superior weaponry in round 2 and able to get onto the B site and get the job done. But it's almost like it's telegraphed to the second. I was watching the clock there, X, and I thought to myself, you know, I bet you this is setting the tempo again. 30-second mark, and there they go. And I don't know if this is something that the IGL is standing there and going, okay, we're going to push now. Luri's sort of standing, yep, 30-second mark, let's go. But hopefully that's not their go-to always, because it could be a little predictable.
Ooh.
I like this.
Artis, sneaky man. But Louis got the right corner covered, it doesn't matter. Artis is just quicker. Cloudburst just in time to get away, but doesn't move away. Instead stays around, and it's costly because Lewis has taken him down. And now we stand square. That mid-play pretty much did nothing.
Oh, FOKUS wants picks, X. This is why they sort of linger around mid. They're poking and prodding, and that's a freebie, surely.
Angel, deep commitment, is able to find it. Hunter's Fury tagging Lewis. They know where he is, which means they'll turn their attention towards it. But in time, Zipan gets one, but it's not to his cost of his own life. His teammate goes down as well. So Buha, left between a rock and a hard place, knows where the spike is, but also knows there's mid contention. And by 2 players, will look to swing little by little, piece by piece. Oh, picks that shower. Now it's down to a duel. Cypher v Cypher. Buha with a knife out. Oh, retrieves a bullet to their face, so he gets to round up this for FPX.
Retrieves the op as well. Hands it handily over to Artis. Some uncharacteristically missed op shots so far. It's early into the fray of things, I'm sure, but as an op lover myself, I'm hypercritical, just the way we got a Mr. Critical on the desk as well in the hands of Lothar. I'm always looking at that, because when you invest so many credits into an operator, you have to make value out of it. You have to get a return on investment that is so well thought of that you yourself know that economic advantage is well placed. And That's something we want to see from Artis here, but for now, the weaponry in the hands of FOKUS, not good at all, so I imagine there's going to be a lot of kills going into the hands of FPX, unless they can make something happen with a utility here on the side of FOKUS.
The first thing I thought when you said you're super critical is asking you if you've ever thought to be a judge on any of those talent shows. Was that ever a dream of yours?
No, I was a criminologist before esports, so that probably tells you enough.
Okay, fair. Okay, that's where the judgment comes in. I see. Okay.
Ooh.
Pistol play for FOKUS.
There we go.
Ooh.
That's what we
okay.
want.
Catches out. Trap, and obviously you have to be more confident to stick around. Well, Lewis shut down as soon as he sets his eye onto the B site, onto the A site, excuse me. But,
do you know your alphabet?
Interrupted. I know my alphabet, but I don't know the order.
But you don't know the alphabet.
I don't know the order of the alphabet. Yeah, it's B, C, A, E, G, right? Pretty close.
You're close enough. We'll give you that.
All right.
Gamers, we don't have to touch grass. We don't have to know the alphabet, but as long as we can get onto site and get the job done. Speaking of, with Lewis dropping, I mean, Lewis is someone who's had a bit of a rough time, but Yugi, he's got Bladestorm in hand. He could make something of this.
Oh, it's a little bit down to the wire, isn't it? Oh, they're actually finding damage here. The spike is actually going down.
No.
And FPX may be in trouble. Angel's position could be telegraphed, but the Viper's Pit assists them further, opening up their arms. Oh, Suigetsu in all crucial position. Now wants to find his way into the fight quickly because his teammates will need his help. Angel falls. An Artis, when you've got a Viper's Pit in front of you, you don't need the operator. Oh, look below you. Oh,
Hello?
No, but still gets it done. Classic will do it. Moves in front of it. Luri's crossfire though, and I believe FOKUS might be able to pull this off. All down to Suigetsu. A player you really want in these clutch positions, and is able to find Illuri. Within that chaos, is able to scramble one, but it does run out of time, which means FOKUS are able to scramble around. That just did not look likely.
You heard me. I was trailing off into a completely different topic. It wasn't until the Bladestorm was popped. I could see in the corner of my eye the possibility of an ulti out of the Viper there, but I didn't. 13 seconds was the count upon which they come bursting through mid-doors there, X. I didn't see it coming, and that's the most exciting part about Valorant, is that if you can use every single second to your advantage, use them all. That's what FOKUS has been doing on their attacks. They're trying to absolutely squeeze out every single second that they can in a round. No need for speed there.
It shows we really didn't believe in that round. We were talking about alphabets, talent shows, criminology, nothing but Valorant. We thought, okay, there's room to fill here, but no. Bounce back from it. Quick fight now towards Tyler. A lot of damage inflicted onto the FOKUS side. Unable to find Killzone. Buka may need to find another front to work onto. He actually moves up closely. Your boy Lewis, unable to get rezzed. Buka aggressing. Suigetsu will pre-fire it, but it's not good enough. The reinforcements are there, though. Spike has been ticking for a while. Illuri will have to hold it back. Completely revealed. Neural Theft doing its job. He needs to find his headshot, struggling to do so. There comes the first, but many more to come. Suppressed in the corner. Suigetsu challenges it. Vong, they know where he is and are able to pre-fire that position, and it's all down to Yugi. Barely standing, heavily injured, bleeding all over, with a hell of a lot to do. Unable to see him, but they still get it done. Suigetsu with a triple. FPX are back in it.
We said this would be a close one, didn't we, X? We said this one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we said this would be a close one, yeah. Yeah, everyone, grab your popcorn, grab your drink. I'm going to do that thing where I slouch back in my chair and get myself ready for a long one, because that's what we're seeing here. That's exactly what we're getting. We're getting a match. I think as Lauren would put it, we've got a match on our hands.
Oh, yeah.
So I love that for us as well, because, again, FPX picking into a very confident map of FOKUS. Wanted to see what they've got. Really hard to tell where Breeze sort of sits when it comes to attacking and defending sidedness. We speculated on Fracture in the last series, but a lot of the time it just comes down to stylistic differences, and that's the lovely part about this matchup right now, is they are so closely aligned.
Could it also be the dynamic of kind of thinking, okay, they're probably not going to pick into Breeze. It might be even banned. Do we anti-strat it? Do we prep it? And maybe this could be surprising for them. FPX coming in prepared, Operator taking off of the hands of Ardis and now put into use from the Focus side. Angel taking one down, but he's in trouble. Shock Dart, Snake Bites, everything thrown at him and unable to survive the onslaught of bullets as well. And all of a sudden, Focus might be able to do it again. Why do we underestimate these pistols? The good thing for FPX is that they've got the spike advantage. But Zipan hears the commotion and turns around in time, equalizing the standing when it comes to the players. One by one they approach, and one by one they die. Ilori, with a lot to do, with not much time to play with, and not much more to work with, will get taken down. FPX recover it, but it damn well looked close.
None of these rounds are coming easy whatsoever. There is not a single round that either of these teams haven't had to fight tooth and nail for. You're coming down to micro mistakes here, micro decision. Time on the clock. There's so much that you can break down, and this is a dream for analysts like Lothar, for example. He's gonna be sitting there watching this right now going, wow, look at this 10 seconds worth of gameplay that changed the entirety of the round. It's just little things like that. And that's how much these teams are putting into it thus far. Weaponry looking good for both sides, but credit's a little low on the side of Focus, so they themselves are hoping to win this one to snatch back the monetary advantage at the very least.
Luka's thrown all of his utility very, very early on, only holding on to one of his cages, and just throws it again. Okay, he took that mid all by himself, but drops away from it. Just puts FPX in an uncomfortable position to put players in that direction. Wonder if there's someone lingering around, but no, the fight is elsewhere, and Zipan is getting to know that. 2 kills out of nowhere has put FPX on top, so he gets to now challenged, wanting to have a mark on this game, gets another. Vong unable to move any forwards. FPX completely stomp FOKUS in this round.
A player on the side of FPX that I feel doesn't get, I don't think he's underrated per se, but I think he doesn't get enough limelight is Sugetsu. Mr. Reliable. Now, right now he's their top frag, but I don't think that's necessarily what makes him one of the best players, especially when it comes from a supportive role and style of things. Of course, Focus taking a timeout now, a well-needed one, because I think they're getting a lot more trouble than they asked for, but that's a player I love to watch because he can hold his own. And that's a hard thing to be able to teach players to do. How do you move when you're under pressure? When you've got multiple targets, we'd call it target prioritization, when you're teaching a player how to move in a 1vx situation, where to shoot first, how to engage, how not to panic in those situations as well. It's all such a difficult thing to learn as a player. And for Focus on their attacks, I'm loving, which I don't know if FPX is getting, not quote unquote lucky with, but they keep doing a lot of tube control. And you think about teams on Breeze, you know, traditionally they do mid control. Well, tube isn't necessarily mid, but they're taking it with gusto. And I think FPX is on the back foot a little bit, having to fight fire with fire just in tube alone.
I really like this game also because it's a clear indication of the discrepancy between Tier 1 and Tier 2.
Yes.
Focus made their way all the way from the Valorant regional leagues, beat every single team within it, and on the other hand, FPX won the previous stage of VCT. Right, so we're talking about the best of the best from the that are playing the previous stage, and now we're seeing an action in best of 3. Zipan, quick triple kill for him, as if it was a casual stroll in the park. Really unchallenged. Mid control is there, Spike in their control as well.
Oh.
Zipan making it look so darn easy. And Vong is just wondering, where the hell did his teammates go? Sees all the bodies before him, but he also sees bullets flying to his head. Hot lead on his body will make him fall. FPX with 6.
An expected quote-unquote easy round for the side of FPX, given that economic advantage, but you just never know. Today has been filled with thrifty after thrifty, so I try not to, you know, and you and I were talking about maths and the alphabet before when we were taken, you know, off guard, so I'm going to keep my eye on the prize right now and assume that anything can happen at any point in time. And if you're a Focus fan, of which, well, they've made me one this stage, that's for sure.
All right.
And this scoreline does not bow by. Said they need at least 5. Watching FPX play at the moment on this map, knowing it was an unknown quantity, I think they need more.
FOKUS very meticulous with how they've been approaching this game so far. Very careful, knowing every piece of utility gives away some sort of information, and FPX always react to it. Always know the premise behind it.
He doesn't know.
Ooh.
Oh, he doesn't know? Yugi has no idea, neither does Lewis.
Oh, but now they will. Our drone shows a position of 2, and Artis, grand opportunity to just swing by and grab a kill advantage. Now, they may want to move on to the B side, but Angel is wary of it and will be able to snatch Yugi out of his existence. And just like that, FPX solidify it. At least B-site attack has been stopped. Now, attempting to make something happen towards A. Heavily damaged to Ugetsu, still alive, crucially enough. Buha entering through main. Vong winning out of his trade. Now is the A-side attack starting to approach, and Viper's Pit will allow the rest of the team to cross forwards. Artis looking to make something happen with the Blaze, but the rest of the team of FPX now moving towards mid to work this together.
Artis looks a little exasperated as well, X. Hasn't been hitting some of his shots, maybe panicking, a little anxious that he's not able to have the impact he's looking for. It's what I'm talking about, X. It's a disaster. They've got to clean it up. They've got to mop it up. It's all on Angel.
Angel, what can you do? Starts diffusing, but stops instantly. Iluri goes in for the grab, and FOKUS get it done. You think they were lost? Well, think again. They're able to make the impossible happen.
Oh, no. Oh no, you can't quantify this game. Also, everyone cast your eyes to the bottom left. We finally get what I have been begging for all day. 2 operators, thank you very much. Yeah. Xiao, Artist, 1 on each side. No? Both on one side? Okay.
All right.
1 to cave, 1 close, I guess?
Yeah, I'm assuming an early pick from Artis and then dash away and maybe play the mid game.
Oh, this is ridiculous. He's using it like a shotgun.
Oh, he's going deep and he's not finding anyone. And this time, the dash will have no effect because Yugi, I think,
they know it.
Oh, hello. Goodbye. Artis out, and so is the operator. Heavy investment now down. Xiao. Oh, is also there, but unable to hit the first shot. Hunter Suri is going directly after him. No, it's Gabuz Luis to interrupt it. Now he's a thorn in the backs of FPX. Unable to deal with him. Xiao has to fall, and FOKUS take full control over the A site, while FPX are wondering what on earth just happened.
FOKUS waking up now. So is Zippin. Always awake, Sugetsu and Zippin, the 2 players that if I had to pick 2 players right now in the form that they're showing to be alive in this retake, 2v4, it'd be them. But Sugetsu,
Oh, no.
well, he's done that on purpose. I like that redirect.
Get Zippin out of there.
Yep.
Could have been close considering how Buha was on the case. He was just a couple of seconds away from actually finding an opportunity to shoot his opponent down. And I love how FOKUS are looking at punish as well. Long distance shot, Buha gets Zippin down, no rifle save there. Sugetsu might be falling in front of his crossfire as well. Fine margins. We're really playing with fine margins.
We absolutely are. We really are. I said earlier on, it might have been even in the previous series as well, is that if you invest in an operator, your return on investment has to be good. Not just 1 operator, but 2 were invested in. We're talking cash money out the bazoo. And they made nothing out of it. Not a single kill, not a single toe shot came out of either of those operators. And if I was FPX, I also would have taken a timeout after that one.
Yeah, you got to be worried. And you said something earlier about FOKUS getting 5 rounds.
Yep.
They could be happy with it. They're already there, and the half is not over. Only 1 round left, but they can still equalize.
If they get 6, ooh.
FPX in trouble?
I feel it. I feel that. 5 felt like the number in my head that FOKUS could work with going into their defensive half. FPX in that first quarter felt really strong. Of course, economically, things looking their way a little bit more, but just watching FPX crumble under the pressure, a couple of the big hitters on the side of FPX also crumbling, Artis being 1 Angel as well. If they step up, if they shake off the nerves a little bit maybe, then might look different.
Could also see the anxiousness in that sloth's eyes. Must be kind of gruesome seeing them come and go like that. One moment they're dead, one moment they're back.
Oh, Artis. That positioning, that was bad.
Didn't quite expect Yugi to be there in time. And he will just simply be able to walk out of there. Aldron spotting him, knowing there's still contention in this direction, but no. Pulls out the knife, gets away as quickly as possible, but look at the B site. The only way that site is being held right now is by tripwires.
No one even attempted to trade after Artis fell either. No mid-doors contention, no nest contention. Is this a sign of a scared team?
Zippen just walked out of double doors and saw no one else was there, which kind of meant that Angel had to get deep into the backside of the B site. You kind of saw Shao also moving in there, but the polarized positionings mean that rotations will take a long time. Hunter's Fury, but is it used as a bait? Yeah, boy Lewis on the backside already, catching Angel off guard. Focus with a clear advantage and a clear task at hand. Get the spike down and defend it at all costs.
Well, Leary heard those shock darts going off. He goes, "Ooh, I don't want to eat any of those." And the infamous 30-second count that FOKUS loves to play off of. Yeah, there we go.
Yugi so impactful this round and will sustain his presence. Buha finding himself moving into elbow, catching them off guard as he pleases. We alluded to the equalizer. Well, here we have it. FOKUS on the attack are able to scramble 6 from FPX.
If you're FPX right now, you are questioning, 1, picking this map to begin with, going to the playground of your opponents, and 2, what it is that you have on your second half that is going to outdo the momentum that has clearly been shifted well into the hands of FOKUS. You see on that round count, 4 rounds in a row for FPX. They were probably thinking it was a dream for them. But oh my goodness, how much they did not realize it would flip into the hands of FOKUS. Some good attacking rounds there from FOKUS, but a lot of this has been just micro plays. Timing on the side of FOKUS, I like that they really squeeze out every second of their attacking round and baiting out that utility from FPX into gunfights. And I gotta say it, bad positioning by the side of FPX with a few of their players that they were able to manipulate. So here goes the second half.
Some carelessness that goes punished. FOKUS showing why they deserve to be here, why they deserve to compete up against the best in EMEA. So far coming close in every single series they've had, but never quite able to close it out. Maybe here is where they can start it. Your boy Lewis coming alive. Defense side now on the case, on the chase. Yugi single-handedly taking down both players, trying to deal with them, but they simply cannot. You cannot contain them. And FOKUS run away with another pistol round.
Oh, I had to say it. I had to say it, X, but shoot back. Shoot back. There's 2 of you. And you're like sitting ducks for the players of FOKUS. Unbelievable that every single player stayed alive after they hunted them in packs, in duos. Watch this. Easy for your boy Lewis, no problems. Mid-doors, they weren't expecting, that's fine. But beyond this?
Look at that.
This.
Oh, so many shots missed from both Shao and Angel there. Oh, that's got to hurt. And we're talking about FPX, the victors of the previous stage.
Stage 1 champions.
Ah! This can't happen.
Not like this. Ooh, I've seen this one, but in a very different way.
Yeah. This time, Aggressor and Flash Drive, your boy Lewis switching positions with them! FOKUS, so quick to react to the task, they knew exactly what was going on. And Sugetsu, in a really tough spot, barely got any health on him anymore. Shao attempting the impossible, still damaged in that trade, but it's still something that allows them to stay alive for a little bit longer. Spike, crucially enough, in their control, but he doesn't really go pick up that Bulldog. He wants to stick around with the Sheriff.
Look at their health as well. You got Sugetsu, Shao. Very formidable players. But, oh, there's a camera.
Wait, they forced. FPX forced.
Oh.
Revealing area.
They have no money.
Look at the utility as well.
Oh, no. It's getting from bad to worse. and FOKUS just take it down. FPX's Force. For the second time today, we're seeing Forces not working.
Wow. I'm doing maths in my head right now. I'm calculating all the weaponry on the side of FOKUS and for FPX. And this does not look... I don't even think... I actually can't calculate in my head, not even just the next round, but the round beyond, how that will look depending on this investment. It's bad. Bad is the word, absolutely.
FPX are misbehaving, that's for sure.
Panicking.
Not as composed as you would expect this team to deliver. And now with a Sheriff buy. We cannot count it out. We cannot, not at this point. Not from what we've seen so far, but so far it's been FOKUS to get these dubs. FPX really would need this miracle to come true. Angel. He's praying at a falling star right now.
Oh, Alluri knows.
So confident to just stick back there. Knowing he doesn't need to push by, knowing that Angel will fall into his crosshair nonetheless.
Toxins going up.
FOKUS barely moved this round. They barely wrapped around.
The 30-second mark. This is FOKUS special, not FPX.
Oh no. Damage all across the board. ADS with the Bulldog is all that you need. And it's your boy Lewis to get it done. Suigetsu, Shao, we've seen them in positions like this before. All too similar to us right now. But it's all coming to a very quick end. FOKUS on 9. FPX trailing behind by 3.
I don't want to curse it, X. I don't want to curse it. I think there's a lot of people out there that want to see FOKUS put a point on the board for this stage. You and I, off screen, we were talking about the round differential that FOKUS has is one of the most impressive we've ever seen of any team inside a regular regional league of any kind. To have that many losses but that good of a round differential is almost unheard of. FOKUS is teetering on the edge of a win here. Could this be it?
It's a massive statement as well. You try and pick Breeze against us?
Yeah.
Camera taken out.
This truly is the group of death. FPX are starting to realize this now, albeit quite late. Not over.
Oh, Yugi.
Oh, good thing for Artis. He was able to trail back and swing back out into safety. But Yuki's still sticking around. So desperate FPX are to stay alive that they have to rotate around from their own spawn.
They also had to invest a Cloud Burst as well just to cross over. It's time, it's utility. And now it's given away the entire plan. They know what's up.
FOKUS are starting to rotate, but it all depends whether FOKUS will be respecting this or will be trying to interact with them as the cross commences. Artis with the first blood is exactly what FPX needed to get the show on the road. Spike will get initialized, but Artis is so close to this. Suppressed though, doesn't want to go for anything risky. Waiting for Zipan to be able to throw down a flash drive to help him with a push. Zipan can't do anything. That null command is disabling them for so darn long, but they might not even need that because Zipan and Shao are able to find their shots. Yugi onto the back line. The only sole survivor for the FOKUS side will end up falling. A much required flawless for FPX will get them back on the board.
It's comforting to know that Stage 1 champions, even when their rotation is seen, is challenged, and they have to force utility just to be able to push the site that the entire defensive side has already seen them rotate to, that they can then still convert and win it. I think that's really important statement for them to feel right now, is that they've been losing a lot of rounds. This has been slipping out of their hands on their very own map pick. They were staring down the barrel of double digits for FOKUS. That is going to, quell some of the frustrations of the players, I'm sure.
I'm just thinking how on earth that happened as well. Did you just throw down the toxic screen quicker than it was anticipated from FPX and kind of catch two players off guard? Because I think there was a crossfire on there as well. And they fell so darn quick. And FPX going for something very similar. An A hit and then rotation towards the B site.
Watch the minimap. Focus, no. Running back and forth, back and forth.
This is the same thing all over again. But will the outcome be as such? Ilori unable to take anyone down so far, but Suppress needing to find these kills up on the high ground, but finds cover. 2 for Focus, but is it good enough? Resurrection perhaps will come in time, but Shower gets them down. A triple kill for Shower salvages the day for FPX. Now they're back on track.
They're fighting with gusto now. That's what that is. Is that even though Focus know exactly what is happening, you can see the rotations across from spawn, the back and forwards, the amount of traps, the intel that they have when they're coming in, even with the toxic screen. You can see multiple players pinged out, and still FPX are running over them. A little bit of pace shift, I think, coming in. FPX now taking it and going, we're starting to run the show. We're going to dictate the pace here, and upon which we do, you'll be singing tunes to our melody, and that's exactly what they want here.
How many Sheriff buy wins have Focus won so far? About 2, 3?
Yeah. That's about as high as you can count, X, so we'll leave it at that.
Wow, shots thrown. Okay, I see you, I see you. Oh, okay. Well, it might not be more than that. They might have to sustain to that number. Focus. They've been spotted. I think most of their players have been spotted, but FPX don't think of switching up their plan, at least not yet. Cloudburst to conceal Ardis's rotation. But Spike staying in place, sort of their thought process around this perhaps is that they expect Focus to push.
Yep. Focus have bought into this. This is the 3rd time we've seen FPX do this. Focus have got to know this. If they don't, then they themselves are the fools and very well deserve to be on the back foot for this round. Or maybe FPX has played the mind game so strong that Focus doesn't believe that they would rotate and do exactly the same strategy 3 rounds in a row. It sounds ridiculous, but they're doing it.
And Yugi just got a kill. That would be interesting if Focus won this. This should be the equalizer for FPX. They should not be losing this in any shape or form. Your boy Lewis has a Vandal though. And this is a man to fear. One approaching now from elbow, and that is Shower. It could hinge off of his rotation here, and they do not expect it. Okay, FPX get it done, as it should. No more shenanigans from Focus. That's it. Put in their place. We're looking at a very much equal scoreline on both ends.
I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know how to feel that FPX have baited A 3 rounds in a row, done the exact same rotation, and then won them. I'm not sure. I mean, why do you think Focus was so steadfast in the fact they wanted to stay on A that round? Because they themselves could not believe FPX would do that 3 times in a row. I don't blame them for it.
You really cannot. Everything is determined by a thread. We talked about how the slightest and smallest of decisions, microplays, can have an impact here. These 2 teams know this map in and out.
I like that cam. I like that cam a lot. We spoke about Sugetsu being able to be almost left on his own. Left to his own devices to be able to hold on to parts of the map. Well, he's got a lot of the map which is under his control right now, and it's a lot of responsibility. So he holds on to it, he knows there's no defensive aggression from there. That gives them the inkling that possibly if they go prod on A, don't do it again, commit this time, boys. No bait and switch, this one's for real.
It seems that is going to be the case, but there are tripwires on the site that could be catching them off guard. No one in position to take charge of it, but oh my goodness, your boy Lewis is able to find one. Hunter's Fury towards him, won't be able to find the shot, but Ardis will quickly trade it back. There is still a 3-on-3. Ardis finding another, but still alive to shoot bullets. Ilori keeping it close. Ardis shut down. Booher takes him down. And double digits for Focus. They're the first team to do it.
I see why FPX didn't want to push A. I can see it now. I now know why they baited it 3 rounds in a row and then went, nah. Push B because, well,
Yeah,
they
then that
belong
happens.
there. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, the thing is that Buha is the B-side defender, right? Together with
Naturally.
Illuri. Like they came in as reinforcements and, well, they did the job. The delay was good enough. The spike couldn't go down. FPX really struggled to gain too much composure.
Oh, Artis, you are loud, friend. You are very loud when you do this.
This is so fast, though, and Zipan is able to find first blood. Illuri could be in trouble here, or vice versa. Angel with the better angle here, catches them off guard with a main push, and now FOKUS are on the back foot. It seems we're playing tug of war here, because every team is pulling in their direction, and there's no decisive victor yet. Sprayed on across the books, so he gets it done. It's a flawless once again to make FPX equalize.
Oh, that camera and drop play. Oh, that was hot. That was hot. I could watch him do that every single time. I know we don't have the camera before the drop, but there's a cam that he places where he stands in tube, waits for the confirmation that there are players in mid, drops, and then acts on it. I mean, whew. Oh, I mean, there's a reason FPX was stage 1 champions. You got guys like that on your roster. I love that.
This is a banger of a match. It really is, and it seems FPX won't be slowing down anytime soon. Artis has already initialized the dash, and it will be moving into it straight out of the bat. Buha close by. Only a frenzy. FOKUS only got pistols, but it doesn't matter if you get point blank with them. Shao on the other side of the toxic screen. Yugi finding himself some sheriff pot shot. Zipan struggling, but Shao is here to stay. Shao has had so much impact this game. It's impeccable. He gets final kill as well. FOKUS are no longer have the advantage. It's FPX to take themselves on top.
This is it. This is FOKUS's last chance to bring this back into their own hands, win their opponent's map pick, and move on to their own map pick of Fracture. They lose this round, and it's going to take another monstrous pistol round, or force, or ugly buy for them to try and work their way back into this one. And for FPX, it's holding on to that round, that momentum that they have now, and Yugi, he's the one that's going to kick it off with this operator. Oh, Lewis.
Oh, Lewis. It's so scary seeing them approach these point-blank positions. But he opts out of it. In the nick of it, Yugi, strong lineup, but Artis not contesting it. Okay, FPX has switched their style up a bit.
I like this. Play the time. Really let FOKUS stew in it. Make them overthink it. And then make them think and then overthink that again.
A lot of thinking there.
I mean, bit of taste of their own medicine. FOKUS does it to them. Why not dish it back?
Have those footsteps been heard, though? Doesn't seem FOKUS are reacting too much.
No. But they know this. The bait and switch, they know this. They don't like the A side. Their A hits have been abysmal. So FOKUS have got to know that the B hit is coming. It's looming.
It's not like you can have a chamber that can just be in a deep position, get one, and rendezvous away. Vong has no escape unless he's able to kill himself. Well, kill his way out of there. Vong, ends up looking away at the wrong time, and Artis takes him down. The solo defender of the B site is now down, and FPX look comfortable. Viper Spit dropping as well. This complicates the retake for FOKUS by a whole lot.
So many ultimates. So many ultimates can be invested here. It could be a very, very expensive round, and if you're the side of FOKUS, you want it. You want it bad. These are the only weapons you'll have, and Zippin, no, he's ripping it out of their hands.
Oh, Lewis only gets one, quickly traded, but seems that FPX are still composed. FOKUS have made the decision to just draw back. Fall back, everybody. There is no more chance in this. Oh, Boo ends up falling as well. No weapon saved. FPX will find themselves on map point here after what has been a massive topsy-turvy.
Yugi's got the Blade Storm, the operator, to go into the 23rd round with. Oh, they know it. Oh, he missed it. No. Oh, with the caster curse. Mere 2 seconds left. I'd like to apologize, but at this point, just time it out, take a breath.
FOKUS
Uh-oh.
have come so close so many times. This could be another time we see the exact same thing.
Whew. FOKUS struggle to close out maps. It's like they can see the finish line and it blinds them. It concusses them, it confuses them. And they don't know quite how to reach it. It's within arm's length, but the method upon which they want to use to get there it's confusing. And FPX, this is the time to strike, obviously.
It seems like they forget their own names. They lose focus.
It's a good one, X.
That was so bad. Oh, that is so bad.
Whew. Here we go. Timeout ending. FOKUS, whatever was just spoken into your ears, it better be something that digs you out of this hole. We said the money would be bad. Guardian, Vandal Spectre, a couple of shields. Let's see how you go with this.
How can they deal with this? FPX spread out, Yugi desperate, knowing that he has to put on these carry pants. Brainstorm out in mid. No one found, or has he? Angel falls. Okay. That's a good start.
Good pick. Good bit of utility dropped as well. Think about Angel's opportunity here to be able to use that toxic screen to get onto site. Now it's lost. Have to rely on the flashes of Zippin, I guess, if you want to be able to make some kind of ingress onto site. That's a good pick. Does he get another yes?
Oh, Yugi.
The caster curse.
Yugi! That's what you need. That's exactly what FOKUS wanted, and Yugi delivers. So he gets to and Shao in a too familiar position. Much too familiar. Two players up against the 5. And more often than not, it did not go their way. There's a trip by ahead of him. So he gets to have to shoot it to cross by with limited time. And when FOKUS can have the numbers advantage wherever FPX goes, you know this is not looking great for FPX. But for FOKUS, this could be where they're able to start to square things up and alluding to the idea of overtime. FOKUS not taking any chances. I like this. Waiting for the entirety of the squad to align, waiting for everyone to brigade their way in there. The cavalry arrives, but Shao is going to make this expensive. Is able to find 2, but FOKUS, importantly enough, are able to scramble up a victory and stay alive in this game.
There's one important part you pointed out there is that they didn't aggress based off that recon, based off that trapwire. They said plant, no problems. We got 5 guys ready to go. We'll meet up. We'll reconvene when we're ready to go. And that retake there, that was perfectly poised. I love that, even under the pressure of that plant coming down, even though they know what FPX is capable of. And it's all because of this man on your screen right now. He got rid of the crucial utility of the Viper. I said what was left over? Zippin. Well, he said no problems, let me drop him. And then let me drop another and bring that numbers advantage into our side. And whilst the weaponry doesn't look pretty, everyone has shields this time. They're going to operate in the hands of Yugi as a result. And this rings overtime if they can pull this one off too.
Mid push coming out here from FPX now. Push ahead, Ardis. Good shot onto Yugi. So FPX might have been able to turn around. They're really turning up the pace here. Aggression, Buha blinded, looking to run away, unable to do so. Hunter's Fury brought into the mix, but Vong is able to find a kill onto Ardis straight out of the back. Guardian doing so much, gets the triple. Vong holding it on for his team, but Sui gets his left behind, closing out on these rotations. And Iluri with a task at hand, wanting to make the miracle work out for FOKUS, give them a victory. It's been a long time coming, unable to do so far in this season. They want this win, but FPX put all their eggs into one basket and move towards this A site.
Oh, he might catch one.
No way. Looking the wrong direction, spotted out the cam. Does he check the right position? He does not. Surigetsu, bullet to the side of the head of Iluri. 13-11 for yet another time. FOKUS get close, but it just isn't good enough.
Ooh, FPX pick Breeze, but they have to fight tooth and nail just to be able to get their map pick. They'll move on to FOKUS's map pick next of Fracture, which if it's anything like map number 1X, I think you and I will agree that we will have our butts sat here for quite a long time to work out exactly who's going to even win the series or whether we go to map 3. I believe it's Ascent, map number 3.
Yeah, thankfully the analyst desk will be able to take care of that, right? Thankfully they'll be able to give us their insights in regards to the next map, as well as give us our insights from the previous map. We'll be back shortly after a very short break.
Welcome back, friends. Who would have thought that a map as relaxing to look at as Breeze would turn out to be so gut-wrenchingly tight as we had in this series? FPX take map 1, but FOKUS really gave it their all.
Yeah, exactly. FOKUS actually getting both the pistols at the beginning of the half, so we thought that that would give them some leverage to work onto them. And actually, starting off with FPX defense on that first half, you know, there were some things kind of questionable, especially when they tried to do those exact plays. For example, when we saw that double operator that they didn't exactly know how to operate with. But I have to say, I was very surprised by the way that both Yaboy Lewis and Zippen were playing on the KO. The amount of information, especially Zippen, that got on the defense with the 0 points was so crucial for FPX. They literally gave them, I would say, the half. I mean, even though it was a 6-6, it was more than I expected.
I mean, the 6-6 half, I feel like FOKUS was probably just disappointed in themselves when they went to attack because they chose attack, right?
Yes, exactly.
This is the map pick from FPX, but FOKUS chose to start attack because it's an attacker-based map, and going with only 6 rounds on attack is definitely disappointed. Where they were disappointed because they are a more efficient team, in my opinion, on the attack. As you mentioned, the KO, insane impact. Overall, we have seen many 0 points that not only gave info, but also denied the utility usage. Yeah, there was one round where there was a sudden push from A that was just literally stopped, and FPX was just wiped out because of 1 0 point. There was no Viper wall being up, all the traps were just disabled, and everything just kind of was out in the open, just run out of A main with no protection, right? So overall, I also really like the fact that we have seen FOKUS play with Viper in a more proactive way to some degree, because the setups were separated. There's a wall on A, there's a player on B. The orb was being on B, the player is on A. And then also sometimes we have seen even the wall not being used and saved for the retakes. So there was a lot of, let's say, position into the depth. The depth in the Viper play was definitely there. That was hard to read for FPX.
Yeah, but if we talk about FPX going on the attack, though, even though FOKUS were able to get those 3 rounds at the beginning of the half, I think that it was very good highlighter from our casters, the fact that FPX found the weakness onto B, the fact that they started to tease up a little bit of A, maybe giving the wrong information, and they would just like strike back and be like, oh, this is going to be a B hit. I love the fact of how decisive they were on the entrances, and they knew exactly kind of how FOKUS were going to approach it. But in the rounds that FOKUS was able, even when they were with pistols, Yugi on that round number 23, I believe, they have some stupid mistakes that, you know, peeking 1 by 1 onto that ultimate. And, you know, it's the small things that made us look that this score, in my eyes, should have been a little bit different.
Oh, man, we could have gone to overtime, but wait, I'm getting something. Uwaga, uwaga! Dr. Lothar, zapraszam!
That's attention, by the way, if someone doesn't know Polish. Appreciate that, Miller.
I lived 3 years, it's enough worth.
Anyway, I wanted to showcase something that is a very small thing. There were a lot of micro plays that defined rounds in this game, and one of that was a set play in the halls area through the doorway, through the switch. So first we're gonna zoom in on the mini-map to tell you guys what is the attack plan. So what we're gonna do here is Viper is gonna use the Viper wall that is gonna straight up just go like this. This Viper wall affects the double doors because the players can go through this double door area undetected when it comes to the players from the side area, and then pop flash for the wall. The same applies to the actual door with the switch on halls in this area here, and you can see how Zippen, or you will see how Zippen tries to counter that play. So let's play the clip. if I'm able to play the clip, here we go. We're playing the clip, we're going through the switch, and look at how Zippen stands to counter this play. He knows that when those doors will open and the wall will be up, there's gonna be a pop flash going through this Viper wall. And what he does, there's a Cypher cage that makes sure that the pop flash is being countered. So he stands inside of this Cypher cage because he knows that the player going from that Viper wall not gonna use it. He's gonna go inside of the Cypher cage and then use the pop flash through the Cypher cage because it gives a sense, like a false sense of security in that moment. And Zippen just gets a double kill in that position because he reads that and counterplays. We have had many situations like this where a small microplay defines if a round initiation is successful or not. And then on the other way, we had FPX do exactly the same strat with successful pop flashes because there was no counterplay towards it.
Yeah, exactly. We were talking about the preparation right beforehand, before this match started, and that is what we saw. Also, that cage, that play was not able to be performed without Sugetsu, that I think deserves a highlight as well.
Well, you talk about Zipan, but also add to him your boy, or just Lewis, our boy Lewis, comparison. We talked about it in the pre-match. How does they face up after map 1?
I mean, it's complicated because I think that Lewis had a lot of impactful plays. It's kind of crazy to see a 41% of headshots as we're seeing on the screen. But I think in the head-to-head, this, I mean, it's surprising to see that Zipan ended up with that 2.5 on KDA, you know, not dying as much as maybe Lewis taking that extra risk when it comes to them.
And when it comes to the duels that they have taken during the game, there was 12 duels over the course of the game. Zipan won 7 out of those 12. So not really a big difference. I would say that both players performed pretty well. It was a very nice game just to watch, and a little bit surprising that FOKUS wasn't able to close it out after having 2 pistol rounds and also conversion of a bonus round.
Yes.
13-11. You got to put that first map on the side and prep yourself for Fracture, which is exactly what we're going to talk about now. So, Kakuka, what is there to expect?
I mean, obviously a lot of flashy plays. I think that it was a very close-up result from FOKUS, but Fracture is a map that they were insanely close of getting against G2. That got us to overtime and a lot of insane plays. I actually wonder what would have happened if they have taken Ascend onto that Fracture, because maybe we would be telling a different story. On the side of FPX, they were the ones to beat G2 and probably expect this Fracture to be picked by FOKUS here today.
And now this is, I'm gonna be going back to the conversation that we had about FPX and their Fracture composition. We have huge expectations now when it comes to how FPX is gonna tailor their team towards this specific match, because they had a really unorthodox composition being played on the Fracture before, with no breach, with the Fade as well, and with the Omen instead of the Yoru that I've seen from week 1. So now FOKUS has a tough task ahead of them. Is how do we approach a game of FPX on Fracture when we not necessarily know which composition we're going to be facing?
Oh, I see an Omen. That maybe is a hint to what we're going to see here. From FPX, it looks like they're going to repeat the composition that they showed on week 2. Watch out for those set plays that they had on attack on the side of FPX, as we see no surprises in the agent select. As I said, if FOKUS had done that preparation...
I mean, if only FOKUS just shows Killjoy, right? Of Cypher.
Oh, sorry, it's not going to happen.
I mean, this is the only one. This is like the risk that you can take, right?
I think that the preparation comes through choosing a ground where you're comfortable. If you want to take that control and Mbuka wants to do it from the Cypher, I take it. But we were mentioning how FOKUS was coming into this matchup. They know that Fracture is one of their strengths. They decide to pick it. They know what FPX have been doing on the previous week. So that is what I want. I know that they had a very strong, a strong attack on the side of FPX, and that is what I want to see countered by FOKUS.
All right, we're going to have to get into it. Maybe it'll end 2-0. We haven't seen FOKUS take a series just yet. Will it only end here in a 2-0, or can they take it further? We'll toss it to our casters to take us through Fracture. It's Jess and X Warrior. Enjoy.
Man, it would be sad if they wouldn't be able to grab another victory here. But maybe today's their day. Maybe Fracture's where they get on the right track, Jess. What do you think?
I think when you're going up against an FPX that has now learned that possibly this is the composition for them, that's a scary, scary thing to go up against. And they're confident not bringing a breach. They're confident not bringing, you know, duelists. So that's probably so many little micro things for us to go through throughout the map. Let's see if it works for them. But I tell you what, Focus, they're not going to go out without a fight. Think about the last time they played Fracture. Oof.
No, we've seen Breeze already twice. We'll be seeing Fracture for the second time as well today. 4 maps played, by the way. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? But yeah, no variety.
You can count to 4?
Apparently I can. Yeah, it keeps on getting better and better. Yeah.
We'll keep checking up as the map count goes up.
Exactly.
The next number's 5, by the way.
Yeah, 5 seconds. See, I can count.
There we go.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's get right into the action. FPX on the defense, Focus on the attack. Let's see if they can take down FPX and just get that curse out of the way of unable to close out matches. Ardis close by. Could be in contention. Fault line, no around rendezvous the hell out of there. A site is where they're going to be taking this approach from. It will be moving from 2 directions. Sky Smoke Artist allowing himself to try and attempt some pot shots through the smoke, but not really getting anything. It's still a plant without any casualties.
It's interesting that Vong is the one with the spike, and he's the one that runs through sand for that strategy as well. I mean, talk about high risk, high reward. They'll get the site though. It's just pistol round. And give a little bit of context to everyone, is the last time both of these teams played Fracture was against G2. FPX won theirs, Focus didn't with theirs.
I thought that was a perfect paranoia, but turned out it just wasn't. Therefore, they still were able to see as they do cross onto the site. Still, touching the spike puts pressure on them. They're actually sticking it. They know of this. Camera spotted. Now, they're still trading in favor of FPX. Still trying to put the pressure onto your boy Lewis, but he will end up falling. Shell gets the kill, and they do get the defuse as well, with a couple of sandbags.
Yeah, they love they were doing a little bit of a dance there. I think it's called a jig. Call that one a jig.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. No, I definitely think for them that is something that they've orchestrated through and through. Again, not sure about the spike being with Volg and Sand. That's a risk. Would like to see that sort of moved. Maybe the chess pieces moved around who goes A main, who goes Sand, etc. But in a post plant like that, I mean, it comes down to minutia. You saw Lothar on the desk after map number 1. That's what this map will come down to. And one tiny little misplay there, one accurate shot, that'll be the difference. Oh, well, that's confident.
Yeah. I'm just going to grab the orb real quick. I don't need to spend any utility. I'll be fine.
Fair enough.
But yeah, we haven't really given Focus the previous map the respect they deserve on pistols. So far, they've gotten 2. So if they're able to grab out another one, wouldn't be too bad. Indeed, your boy Lewis sneaking into the enemy's camp, and Shao ends up falling. Zipan looking to trade it back, but Bucha knows where he is. Unable to find the shots in time, will end up falling. The superior weapon does take it. Reinforcements do arrive on the defensive side because Focus's troops do halt for just a little bit longer. Of course, with a dagger thrown at them, they cannot use abilities to assist them, and then push one by one they swing, and one by one Angel will have to deal with them. Illury will just have to walk into his demise at this point. Fragment thrown at his feet, having to sidestep. Zipman puts a bullet in his head, and FPX go up 2-0.
This is more on the script that we expect here, X. We expect you win the pistol, you convert the second, you see what your opponent has to offer in the third, and that's the rhythm, that's the rhyme that we're used to. Series number 1 absolutely threw a spanner in the spokes for me, so I tried not to give too many expectations here, but for FPX right now, their map pick of Fracture, and I tell you what, this is a really good opportunity, or rather for Focus, to move forward and just go, all right, this is, you know what, you know why I thought it was Focus's map pick on Breeze? Because it's their playground. Everyone gets confused by that.
You have to get confused by it. Wow! Okay, very greedy to move into that line of fire like that, but Arlis is trying to circulate around it, trying to find a better position to deal with it, and it looks like he may be able to do it. Shot through the box, and Focus are down in numbers, looking to be sustained in position. as they are seized in place. But not for too long. FOKUS sticking around. Spike is left behind. They cannot afford to rotate. But FPX have got perfect crosshair positionings right now. So Getsu might be just forced out into the open.
Oh, he knows.
But is able to avoid it all.
How did Sugetsu survive? They were pop-shotting through the wall as well. They could see the corner of his arm as he dodged out of the way of that. Oh, this is bad. This is bad for FOKUS. This is something they should have converted.
The flash is point perfect as well, so Getsu has plenty of time to spray down Buha. And Ilori is all that is left now. They're looking to approach. They don't even need to regress. They know what the task is at hand. And finding a 3-0 start, it would be perfect for them. Ilori, though, will make it challenging. Quick little shot, 20 seconds remaining, therefore pressure is amping up, not taking consideration of that tower side. Shower puts him to his grave, and it's FPX 3-0.
Oh no, this does not paint a pretty picture here. In fact, it probably even goes to my slip up before of going, hey, this is FPX's map pick. Hang on, no it's not, it's FOKUS's. That's an opportunity for them to be able to show us what they're made of. When you pick a map, when you go to a map 9 times out of 10, of which we saw the 1% of the time that you don't, which was, of course, FPX picking Breeze, which is a good map for FOKUS. They were narrowly able to win map 1. But you move on to this, and we got to see a much more confident FOKUS for them picking this map pick, for them sticking with this composition, and Yugi themselves saying that they just had a little bit of a rough time when we first saw them play Fracture. He was just getting into the groove of what it means to play Neon. I don't mean to speak about players and then them die instantly. That is unintended.
There is a thing called the caster's curse, but I don't think that really was the case there. It's just a weapon discrepancy, FOKUS not finding openings. Let's just call it a that.
Oh, pinging it. Yep. Just so they don't forget, make sure you ping the gap in the wall. So that doesn't happen. Ouch.
The fights were won all across the board. Nothing too surprising there, nothing too exciting, but FOKUS already won, FOKUS already lost their own buy-up here. So this is the second one they're having. They cannot really afford to lose this one, though.
Something unusual as well is they're not playing time. They're not sort of squeezing out all of the seconds in a round like we're used to seeing from them. Hello, Angel?
Fault line, red. Perfectly done. Paranoia, Aftershock in play. Zipan there to assist. Oh, and Angel gets it done as well. FPX are unstoppable. Throw anything at them, they'll be able to deal with it. Now Yugi on the opposite side, trying to make it dumb. Sugetsu elevated, also raining bullets from above. And there's nothing they can do. Losing out on every single one of these trades. And Ilori hates to be in the position he is right now. No spike, no friends, and the bullets between the eyes.
He's got one friend. It's the bullet. The lead.
Yeah, he'll take it with him to his grave.
6 feet
That's
under.
how good of a friend he is.
Yeah, it's not where I want to be right now. Again, a lot of people, there's been a bit of discourse about are FOKUS overrated? Are we giving FOKUS too much leeway, coming from the lower leagues, coming up into tier 1 and now, playing at the same echelon of FPX, stage 1 champions? Are we really overvaluing the round count, the round differential? I think no. I truly think FOKUS is a great team. If you were to put a scoreboard up and you were to compare the round differential of all of the teams in both of the groups, FOKUS would look phenomenal. In fact, out of all of the losses, they would look likely they would set a record for a team who's lost the most but has the most rounds as well. You and I were discussing this. So I do truly think they're on the edge of greatness. My problem is when you are so close to greatness, sometimes you can overthink things. Sometimes you think that there's a lot of problems when there's just a few tiny little ones. And instead of pulling out the microscope and finding those, you change everything else. And my problem with FOKUS right now is that on their attacks, they're going fast. They're not baiting out utility. They're not playing the time the same way that we see them on almost every single other map. This need for speed, philosophy, and style does not match them. It is not good for them and it won't bode well for them, so we need to see them clean this up.
I do remember key pieces of set pieces FOKUS have used throughout their DAH ventures, throughout the VCT promotion. And it's all been on Fracture. So many highlight reels, so many cool things to bring out. But right now, it doesn't feel comfortable for them at all. And you alluded to the round differential being ever so close in every single map they've played so far in this tournament. Well, this could be one that could flip the script. This could be one where they may not be able to find all that much. And so far, it seems like that could be the case. 6-0 is looking very possible so far.
It's not a pretty picture to paint for all the viewers out there, regardless of your inclination and fan base. Ping's coming out. They know exactly where the push is going to be coming from. Numbers advantage squarely in the hands of FPX here, and oh, it's bad. It's bad. FPX are feeling themselves, ladies and gentlemen. Who needs a duelist when you've got 5 FPX players who just are absolutely suffocating you at every turn? You want to push A? We're here. You want to push B? Huh, we're here too. 6-0 the scoreline. That is devastating.
They do have a duelist though, Jess.
Oh, my apologies.
Yeah, they do. It's Chamber.
Of course.
Obviously.
Oh, God, I love Chamber. I mean, there's a reason that if you look at the top 10 players, I think in the world, I have looked just in Europe, of course, if you go open up your leaderboard, the top 10, I think out of like 10 of them, 8 of them main Chamber. For a reason.
Love to see it. So high impact.
Oh no, they're chasing them down.
First mistake that FPX have made so far, but they're looking to push on the other side as well, and they're catching them off guard. Spray downs in a distance position, but it's still traded in favor of FOKUS. Scratch that thought! Artist joins the fray on the other side of the map, and has even saved the spike. Artist will be the only defender now.
I know exactly what.
And Neural Theft will show exactly where he is also. 1 minute to play around with, and little do they know, they're so freaking close to each other. The drop comes out, Artist repositions, and gets the better of them. 7 rounds in a row for FPX, and nothing for FOKUS.
No. I refuse to believe that this is the story that FOKUS wants to tell. So close. Their very first debut, so close again, so close again. And now you're telling me that they're going to drop the ball against FPX after every other tough opponent that they've gone up against. They've been able to put rounds on the board. They've been able to look like a solid opponent. And they will get onto their map pick of Fracture. One, you said they have a plethora of highlight reels on and do this.
It really is painful to see. Getting to their own heads.
Going out.
It's painful. It really is. The feeling of hopelessness. Getting so far. Having such an unbeatable streak throughout the spring months, only to lose it in VCT. They didn't come here just for the ride. They're here to do well, show they're capable to compete. And I believe they'll want to show it again. It's not all over straight out of the bat. Shower somehow survives throughout. The flash drive could be brutal. Haunts will be able to sustain them in place. Your boy Lewis wastes the showstopper. Zippun's going directly after him. Damage inflicted, but still kills going in Zippun's direction. Boohan Yugi, one and flip the script. Onto the A side they go from the other side, dropping onto it. But Zippun still sustains his composure. All down to Ilori. Resurrection coming in, making this even more difficult. Rolling Thunder avoided by Artist, but that doesn't even matter. Ilori grabs the spike and wraps around, but Angel is able to TP to the other side. How do FPX play this out?
That quick decision to TP over to B confirms with no footsteps heard that he can slowly rotate over to A. They know. Oh, he has to commit? He has to go for kills?
There's no other way. He will be allowed the plant.
Ooh, okay.
Ilori, your whole team is looking at your screen right now. Oh, but it's a brutal well to go down. As soon as he peeks out, there's a bullet there waiting for him. And FPX continue their undefeated streak.
If you're another VCT team right now, you're sitting here watching FPX run circles around FOKUS, and you're thinking to yourself, when we play them, should we ban Fracture? Do we go there? Because that's a hell of a confident team that doesn't have a breach and that doesn't have a duelist.
It's amazing to me how Shark was able to get out of there. I think there was a bit of a mistiming with Yaburi Lewis's kind of swing. And these just milliseconds costed them a kill, costed them Zipan having the aggressive prowess to kind of move in, get more. And it's all just mounting up right now.
Oh, FPX. Oh, the pace. Gonna pull out the ulti there. No, the haunt over top. That was a brilliant lineup, but they're getting punished for it.
Yeah, FPX might be dropping short here to a pistol round, no less. They've gone a little bit too aggressive, but Shao still is in command over the site, all by himself though. And FOKUS know of this. They want to isolate him, but he's repositioned. Flashpoint. But Lilo doesn't know. They are going to push from the back end. Yugi, good little headshot, which puts FOKUS on in charge. They find themselves riflery. And this is where FOKUS have a good chance to put themselves on the board.
We've seen 113-0 this stage. Fnatic delivered. FPX wanted to join them. But with this round right now, they finally are able to put a round on the board. It's all up to Artis. He's gone absolutely nuclear this series so far. 3 bullets and the 2 on the force. There's one.
There's
2
one.
more. And then he puts himself in a 1v1. But time, it's against him here, X.
Yeah, not much he could do. Incendiary dropped. It falls short of the mark, but good enough to hit his feet. And there you go. FOKUS. First round of the game. Hopefully for them, one of many.
Ooh, okay. It's not the prettiest of pitches, but it's beginning to look like something.
Out of charges.
The canvas is out. I can see the paint. I can understand what direction they're going in. But I hope there's more to this story. I'm not ready to let this go. I wanted map 3, and I'm barely getting map 2 here from FOKUS. The boys wake up a little bit. We'll see a lot more. And the last time they played against G2, it was on the back of Vong, for example. So I want to see the rest of the players step up beside.
There.
I feel like FPX might also be the ones to scratch up that canvas. They were the ones to go aggressive, over-aggressive the previous round. And it costed them. But this time around, completely switching up that pace. It's composed in place, not even thinking of just sidestepping. No, rendezvous away. Zipan? That is such an unorthodox position to hold, and it will not be expected, but it doesn't matter. Dash coming in from Yugi, Lurie able to free frag it out, but Artis is also there. Every single one of these FPX players holding down the site, do not want to give it away that easily. Buka looking to drop. Artis draws out his headhunter and gets a quadra. FPX might have lost the previous one, but they won't allow any more to fall into place for FOKUS.
This is like... I don't know if you watch anime, X. You probably don't because you're a respectable person, but I'm a big anime fan. I'm a big anime fan, and one of my favorite things to watch is redemption arcs. Everyone loves a good, underdog redemption arc story. Artis is hitting that to a T for me. I can't keep my eyes off of him. Map number 1 on Breeze, missing almost every op shot.
There.
Having a rough one on Breeze. He's come into Fracture and said, enough is enough. You keep my name out of your mouth unless it's something positive, and I'm there for it.
Everybody loves a good old hero's journey. And I've watched my fair share of anime, don't worry. Ooh, Angel wanting to make a highlight reel here. Good little 2-piece to be picked up. Shao with a sideline here. Not really allowing them to cross by. Suigetsu stepping up to the plate, gets it done. FPX on relentless, double digits already, and we're only 11 rounds in.
Last round in the half.
What do you think the world record is right now for the fastest Fracture game?
Oh, I don't know.
I'd love to know that. I don't think this one will necessarily beat it.
I don't think so.
But it's in contention for a podium spot.
Maybe.
I feel horrible. Again, big FOKUS fan, big fan of what they've been able to bring into this stage. Coming up into the bigger leagues, it can be such a hard thing to do. It seems so stressful, and Yugi, oh, there we go.
Ooh.
That'll kick things off. That's a nice bit of momentum shift.
Yeah, finally something works out at the initial vestiges of the round for FOKUS. Can they carry it onwards, though? They've very much spread out across the map. Yugi did allude towards the A site take, but instead the rest of the team are focused to line it up towards the B site. Wall to be broken, only Buha to do it, not wanting to give away the position of many. Could be the smart decision. Overdrive starting to be used. Rolling Thunder as well to Ugetsu, concussed, paint shills, somehow still alive. The push comes through from Lewis, and there's a judge in his hands. Switch it up from his Vandal, and now there's more fight to approach. Shower out of the sky smoke, disrespecting them
Spike down.
as if they're nobodies. You dare to challenge us. Vong on a solo man mission, unable to do a thing. Set aside. The half is over. In FPX, tell us. It's a statement. They want to win this, and quickly.
It's a statement in so many regards, X. It's a statement in that whilst they weren't able to go to the Masters and show us what they're capable on a LAN environment, they're making the statement that they came first for a reason. And whilst, yes, okay, Fnatic are the ones that are constantly drawing our stare and our gaze as a result of being undefeated, it's FPX that really want to come out and say, we are the top dogs, we deserve that kind of respect. And we won't let the new dogs on the block be able to take that away from us. And I respect that greatly. Come onto your opponent's map pick. Wipe the floor with them. Show them exactly what it's like to go into Fracture and play without a duelist, without a breach. Set a new precedent for what to expect on Fracture. I'm here for it.
Doombros has really done his homework on this one, I
love
reckon.
Doombros. Oh, God, he's good.
Such a smart man.
Unbelievable.
And FOKUS seem disabled. Everything that they've attempted, shut down. FPX have an answer to every single thing that has been thrown. Paranoia. Buha, unable to see, but still able to find one. Simple trade, FOKUS. They want to close out this gap a little bit. They've been proud of their round differentials, not really proud of their match wins though. FOKUS, Illuri. He's able to find himself on top, and now they're square. A 2-on-2 with a spike in the middle of the site. The defenders lying in wait for the swing. Artis is the one to do it though. Quickly traded. They knew how to play that one out. And FPX on map and series points.
Match point.
I feel sorry for the analysts. What do you take away from this? I mean, it's a bad day at the office for FOKUS. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Every other bit of stat we could have pulled would have told you that FOKUS should have performed on this map. And so, as a result, I think it says more about FPX than it does FOKUS, for example. I think FPX have just read them, and they read them again, and then they know this off by heart. Everything FOKUS are trying to do, FPX are one step ahead, and now they could be an entire series ahead of them here. And for the standings, well, that is very big. The analysts will go through it should FPX win this, but my goodness.
FOKUS. I can only feel the pain right now for them. Been through so much to be here. He dealt this hand, Angel. First blood in the round. Disabling FOKUS. Yuki wants to go in for more though. They're going to suffocate them because Angel and Artis are both very low. But they're able to escape in time. But are they? Yuki catching them off guard. That's a double kill. That's more like it. That's a Vandal recovered also. And the defenders spread across will be able to catch the rotation of FPX.
Yugi really digging deep here.
Camera taken out.
He had to make a hero play. He knew it and he gets a weapon for it. But now they've got to stop this.
Oh, Buha. Big task ahead of you. And sadly for you, you're walled off. Your boy Lewis onto the back end. Buha falls! Shower goes for the trade. Zippan shuts down Lewis. This is just horrible for FOKUS. This is a nightmare. And Vong, Yugi, trying to see if they can make something happen, but they just cannot. Disabled on all ends. FPX make this one a quickie, and closing things out with a 13-1 score. A 2-0 from FPX. FOKUS's first landslide loss.
I hope this doesn't set the tale for what FOKUS will show us in the coming weeks. I think there's more opportunity for them, but for now, the standings of this particular stage, especially if you're a FOKUS fan, or even better if you're an FPX fan, things are starting to shape out throughout this group. And I tell you what, FPX making a statement there, they're the stage 1 champions for a damn reason. That was impressive to watch. And I tell you what, that composition might be a talking point in the future. If I jump on the desk in the next few weeks, I'll be bringing that up on your screens and we'll go through that in depth.
It's crazy. I'd really love to see FOKUS deliver, but FPX today was the better team. But now is the time we've all been waiting for to crown who the player of the match is. You guys have got 3 decisions, as always, heading over to val_esports_EMEA on Twitter, is where you can vote for either Suigetsu, Zipan, or Shao. Jess, I can't decide here. I just can't decide. What are your thoughts?
Sugetsu, I mean, he just felt like Mr. Reliable. You know what I mean? Like, I could always look at him to get the job done. His utility was almost always perfect. That's where my vote would go. You know, with a good conscience, I would put it there.
Fair enough. But that's all from us today. The desk does have some closing segments to talk about. Has got some things to say. So if you want to stay tuned for that, you're more than welcome to.
What a map too. No two ways around it. That was one-sided as it gets. And the victory goes to the more experienced team, FPX 2-0. FOKUS, the newcomers, #1 in DACH, well, unfortunately have another day here with no success. But our victors, FPX, Lothar.
Well, FPX just played a very good game on Fraction. Not much I can say, right? There's just a blowout win, an uncharacteristic loss for FOKUS, not because they lost, because so far they didn't win yet, but the fact that they lost with only 1 round, that's the problem, right? And it was such a night and day performance between Breeze and Fracture. We didn't see like those same fundamentals that we have seen in the past for them. And also, they didn't win a single 5v4, and they had 3 of them on Fracture here. I didn't like also the fact that the force that they did on the 12-1 included 2 sheriffs, which is such a tough weapon to use on this map when you're on the defense. And it's like essentially there's just no force if you buy the sheriff.
Yeah, sometimes we talk about momentum, but what FPX did on this map was completely something else. The problem with stacking so many rounds one after the other is that the moment that FOKUS has a full buy, you have so many ultimates that you can throw onto them. In fact, that 1 round that they got, it was just FPX pushing onto them on an eco, because they were like, yeah, let's just take the space and just play around. It definitely looked like that was FPS doing. I love Suigetsu. I think that he played a beautiful game of Valorant between map 1 and 2, and until that 1 round that they lost against FOKUS, he was undefeated on the server.
Yeah. In general, I really like the fact that you mentioned the ultimates, because this composition from FPX actually has very impactful ultimates.
Yep.
So if you're able to just chain them, you not only run away with the economy, but also you just gather more kills because of the ultimates. You have the Fade ultimate, the Zipan on KO has another one that is just an AoE. You don't even have to aim anything, right? You just do those huge area of effect ultimates, and you just gather the space after that. And also Suigetsu had a 9-1, if I remember correctly, scoreline after dying first time, and he had his ultimate ready, I think, round 4 or 5, something crazy.
It was just beautiful to watch. Also, that the KO utility that we were highlighted on Breeze was definitely there for the side of FPX. And the problem is that I think after round 5, FOKUS saw themselves as losers, just because FPX, it's not that they were unpredictable, they were just playing with their minds in a very naughty way.
All right, well, I'll be back to you in just a moment, because joining us on the interview are our victors, FPX, and their coach, Doombros. Bring them up on the screen. Hello. Congratulations on your victory. First up, how does it feel to just get a good day in and an easy points at the end of the day?
I mean, I feel really great. Not gonna lie, on that Breeze map, we weren't playing the best. Like, some individuals weren't playing that good, so I was a little bit worried, but we kept our head cool and just moved on. And yeah, Fracture was a good map, so I'm happy. That's all there is to it.
What do you think happened on Breeze to make the scoreline so tight? 6-6 at the half, swapping 13-11 that could have gone to overtime. Was it a problem in communication or anything else?
So we had a pretty good read on them. They played pretty much exactly the same as they always do. We lost both pistols, and in the pistol rounds, some of the guys weren't hitting their shots as they should. So even if we maybe had a read, we just didn't kill them. So losing both pistols in a game like this is really crucial. And the second thing is, even though we had some good reads, they just slowed the game down. They played some contact, and retook some space, and just refragged really well, and we got caught out. I think we got caught out on A a couple of times. So yeah, it was more of them like slowing it down and us not being proactive and playing together enough in the mid round to be able to punish what we already knew.
I mean, you definitely did punish them once you got to map 2 Fracture. I'm wondering, did anything change from your side, or is it just, yeah, we had a good read on them again, and we just kept playing round after round?
I would say Fracture were just down to, a good read. I think at least I knew what they were doing pretty much every round, so it was just down to us to actually play our game and play how we should be and react how we planned we should react. So it went as expected, and I think their comp as well. It's a bit like once you against the Neon, once you kind of figure out it, it's hard for them to actually adapt and come with something different, you know. So I kind of feel for them because I feel like we're such a strategical team, right? That usually they can find some different ways of playing. So yeah, I'm a little bit sad for them, but I'm happy still.
And aside from that, let's not forget, the most important tactical position, which is the gamer socks that both Sugetsu and Ardis were rocking this game. 100%, we could see the impact that it had on the game. But anything you want to say to the fans out there after this victory?
Not really. I hope people are still cheering for us. Like, we might bring some weird comms sometimes, but you just have to enjoy the games and trust our decision making. Sometimes we will lose, sometimes we will win, but at least we're having fun. That's the important part.
There you go. Very important win for you, getting the extra one, making it 2-1 on the board. Bros, thank you very much, and, well, good luck next week.
Thank you so much.
Take
Have
care.
a good day.
There it is, FPX victorious on the day, and what a way to make it all happen. We talked earlier in the day, even in the pre-show, thinking, how does this game and the result of it going to impact the rest of the group? And well, this is going to be an important one for FPX now.
Yeah, exactly. I would say especially the stakes are super high now for week 4 because it looks like now G2 are almost on the same spot because they lost one. So that matchup between G2 and Ascend next week is going to be pivotal for both teams after FPX looking like this.
The lab is ready for you, Mr. Lothar. All yours.
I have one small thing because, this, I actually really like the way, I didn't take my pen with me. Thank you.
The results are in.
Got my pen now. So the fact is that FPX on this map were really enjoying themselves on defense because they were just having a very efficient line of defense. They were just contacting and then artists typically taking that first fight, and that gave them advantage. But on attack, we had a very nice execute that was made on tower that skipped to that. This is the pistol round on for FPX on the attack, and they're gonna go into the tower with the KO utility, in this case the defragment, and then a paranoia on top of that. It's a nice pacing because when we play the clip, you're gonna see that the players are going slowly towards the tower area, and where Angel is going on the rope, the defragment is already in, which guarantees that he's gonna have empty space here when he's peeking, so he doesn't have to worry about those positions here where a player can't stand because of the defragment. But also, if someone is new to the game, defragment needs a line of sight to deal damage. So someone could be standing right behind the corner in this spot here. Let me draw the legs and the hands here as well. Someone can stand behind the corner here as well and not get the damage. So there's a possibility of a very, very fast peak just after the defragment just dissipates. But what the plan is after that, there's a good spacing here because Angel now prepares his paranoia right before that defragment dissipates, and because of that he's able to push on top of that. But as well, Bucher has a nice reaction because when he's getting paranoid, his first instinct is to fall back. But after that, he realizes that the counterplay is to be closer. So he's able to see the muzzle flash of the classic from Angel. And if the reaction would have been faster from him, if he would have been closer and nullify that effect from the paranoia, he had a chance of actually stopping that entire push for the tower. So it's a nice, like a set piece from FPX, but also cool to see the reactive reaction from Bucher to try to counter it.
I love your drawing, by the way. We should definitely screenshot that, put it in Louvre. I'll take it back on the way to Paris. But our kind of player highlight for this one, there's no two ways around it, Sugetsu?
To me, at least.
Yeah?
Yeah,
makes
totally.
sense.
It's not only what he
we were
did
touting it the whole time.
Okay, it's not only what he did on the second map. On the first one, Jess was saying he's Mr. Reliable, the way that he uses the utility so supportively to the rest of the teammate, but also always gives the frag department a very good visit. It's Sugetsu. I really like him.
Yeah, I mean, he played on Fracture. I feel like it was very flashy the way he also played, because playing a Sage on Fracture is a very specific, has a very specific style, and it's typically just opening the round with a wall that closes one of those paths towards the side. And Sugetsu has been very cheeky with those and trying to play aggressive of them as well. And we've seen first bloods being done by that as well, for the small gap, the 1 pixel gap.
Yeah.
I think that was actually not intentional, but he improvised around
it. Wasn't. He was pinging the wall at the end of the round, being like, "Hey guys, I literally just left a gap and actually found the kill here." You can see it if you see the repetition of that.
Well, that was our second match of the day and our final one for the week, which means it's time to wrap up our day with our post show. Hey, there we go. It's a very quick transition that we get here, and everything lights up in red, because that means that things are about to end, no matter how good they are, right?
Is it a sunset? This is a sunset?
A red sunset, a blood moon that we get. That's a way to do it. There's some howling wolves at the end of today. Well, honestly, today was a very exciting one. I gotta say, FOKUS FPX, a bit of a letdown. If we're looking at FOKUS, we were thinking, oh yeah, maybe this is the time for them to, get this map. What do you think was their biggest failure?
That's so hard to say without trying to interview them, because I feel like FOKUS, they have the prep, they have a right mindset. It's just the lack of experience coming into the tier 1, and probably on the personal level, there's still a small gap when it comes to the personal performance so far, at least at this level. And it's just sometimes there will be teams that will be lacking and they will be trailing in the groups when it comes to the scores. And unfortunately, this time this is FOKUS. It's just kind of funny, Sesh, that we have 2 teams that are coming from the same region that are trailing. I'm not saying anything.
From what do they speak in that region? What is it called again? Dach?
Yeah.
What do they speak? German? And where does this come from?
Yeah. So the thing is, we have promised if Big end up with an 010 and FOKUS ends up with an 05, Vincent won't be coming back next season. I'm just
Oh, come on. Oh, the
and
entire
the whole
production.
crew is adding up onto that one.
Oh boy.
We all forgot we are in Berlin.
Yeah, we got to be real careful how we play around this. We really have to be careful. Oh yeah, hey, 2 German teams are really having a tough time. Well, I guess that's the end of it. It's simple as. But that was, of course, game 2. But let's not forget, Mech and BBL started off first, and Mech looked like they could run away with the whole thing too.
Yeah, but still, what I'm picking out from that is the fact that they didn't show anything new. They're going back to what they relied on the past, and I want to see them actually, anticipating and preventing these changes. I want to see Fade working onto them. I want to see again more def onto Chamber. I want to see something else, more than the same old.
Well, I feel like again, Fnatic, just to pitch in here, is setting up trends when it comes to the new agents and how you should use them to be very effective. And I feel like Meg is probably the second team that's going to pick it up and be effective with that as well.
What about FPX?
I don't know. FPX just tries to be not the trendy guy,
What do you mean? What about last week in Xiao's lineups on Ascent?
But the thing is, they are using it in a different manner. It's like a hipster usage of the utility, FPX is always they're always
just want to talk about Xiao.
No duelist. I mean, you guys remember FPX was the first team to use no duelist on Ascent, right? And everyone was like, what the hell is going on here?
And now no duelist on Fracture.
Yeah, right? They're always trying to be that
they're
different. They're the hipster team.
They're not innovative. They're hipsters on his eyes.
Do they also type on typewriters instead of on their keyboards?
Yes, they use very old keyboards, like from the 90s, that are old yellowish, They don't have mechanical keyboards.
Nobody's cleaned those since then.
Wow.
Remember that? You're old enough to remember mice that had balls in them. So that's...
Look, I remember...
I had it too.
I played a LAN tournament in Quake where people didn't use mouses because you didn't have to aim with a mouse, and it's so old.
I went to a LAN party with a monitor that was this big.
Had a couple CRTs. Yeah, you really got your weight lift back in those days. But let's look at our match results and schedule for the weekend, kind of in preparation for what we got in our, these past 3 days. Not going to lie, 6 games that we had. incredible. 2-1 Guild versus Liquid. We walked into this one thinking, wow, this is going to be out of this world. And it was a bit of a letdown from Team Liquid. A 2-1. This was a massive earthshaker for the group 2. G2 falling to OG. Na'Vi defeating Big. This kind of falls in with the DACH region in general. Fnatic showing us what they've got, showing us that they are the best team in EMEA, taking down Ascend. And today, Mech 2-0 against BBL. Finally, FPX smacking FOKUS on map 2, especially to end it up with this group standing in A and B. Fnatic, FPX, and Ascend still on top, but things can really shuffle in group A. Same goes for B with Guild, Mech, and Liquid.
I mean, in general, like day one of this week was super exciting. I
And
think
long.
like this was probably
Yes, that's true.
probably the Friday of this week was my favorite from all of the VCTs that we have been doing here, because it was filled with upsets, but also very interesting gameplay and something new. Like, it's still the freshness of the patch and it's the anticipation of changes, and then on day 2, Fnatic, I feel like showcase what are the teams capable of doing with this new patch. So overall, I really love this week.
Yeah, to me, one of the things that we are seeing definitely on this stage that we were kind of expecting to get it for the first one is how quickly they are learning about their opponents and how prepared they have come from week 2 to week 3. What Guild did, what Fnatic did, and what FPX just did was the highlight of the week for me.
Remember, that is also easier to read opponents that are not changing in playstyle. Like, for example, Na'Vi was almost read by Big. I mean, was read on one map and then they weren't, right? But it also showcases that even a team as, let's say, passive as Na'Vi is capable of changes. And that was their success story for this week, because otherwise they would have not won that third map.
Well, joining us at the end of the post show to kind of talk, it's a really synopsis for everything, is Ardis. So let's put him up on the screen, have a chat with him. Ardis, hello. Thank you for joining us.
How are we? Hello.
How are you doing? How are you feeling, Ardis?
Hey, I'm feeling good, to be honest. Little 2-0, quick one. Now I can enjoy the rest of the day, to be honest. So,
Yeah,
thumbs up from me.
Lothar can get back home now.
Yeah, there's also
Yeah,
sun.
there we
I
go.
see you in your window, so you know, have a lot of time to grind.
Honestly,
rank now.
it looks so much brighter than it is. Like, I don't know why on the camera it looks so bright. It's like, to me it's normal, but on the camera for some reason it's like proper exploding. But yeah.
Well, that was the
I
light
know about the
that
rank
shone.
grind as well. Lothar probably going to be feet up for me today, I think. Feet up today and then chill, and then tomorrow's the rank grind, I think.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Already planned for the rest of the week. And you know what? Actually, that's perfect, because we wanted to ask you your thoughts on next week's schedule. So we got both groups that are gonna go through for this next week. And here are our 6 matches: Ascend versus G2, Na'Vi Liquid, Big Mech, FPX versus OG, BBL versus Guild, FOKUS versus Fnatic. When you look at these matches, Artis, anything really jumps to mind to think, oh, this is the one to watch?
For me, it's got to be Ascend G2. I
Yeah.
think that's the deciding game for the
Who's taking it?
whole... Yeah. For me, I genuinely think it's a 50-50. I think if G2 don't... I think G2 lost to us and they just started changing all roles. I saw Mixo play KO, Sky. I think if they just go back to what they know, I think they overreacted to that one loss. And I think if they just stick to what they know, they might beat Ascend, but I think it's like 60-40 in Ascend's favor, for me anyway.
Look,
But I think I can still see G2 winning.
You actually played with G2 and your own
Remember?
teammates, and you played with Mixer as well. You had the same issues with like role swaps and like maybe responsibilities of the team. Do you think that it's like still trailing behind them, or can you give us some insight maybe?
the biggest issue we had in G2 was that we didn't have an IGL, and that was a big reason why Coldamenta came in. So like we didn't have an IGL. Obviously it was like one of them things where everyone's IGL on the fly. So I had IGL one round, Mix hold IGL round, Patty with an IGL one round. Then we said like, listen, this doesn't work. We need one sole base. So then we decided like, as a team, we decided like, listen, Coldamenta is probably the best fit. They went for Coldamenta over like me and Patty, which is fair play, whatever. But then they've got rid of him, and they've gone to the same problem, I feel like, where they don't have, like, I don't know how much IGL and Nuki does. Maybe he is IGL and like flawlessly. I don't know. I'm only just speculating, but that's from me speculating. I think they're probably lacking like a true IGL, but that's just speculation. Could be completely wrong.
So your recommendation for G2 for next week will go back to the same roles that they were playing when they were playing against you and not start swapping things around?
I think because like, you'll realize they had like we had like 6 weeks off, 4 weeks off to practice. They would have been practicing in that time, but with Mixwell on Jet or Chamber, like whatever roles they had before, and then they've just instantly swapped after. I think the one loss, they've instantly changed stuff. Like they said, like this isn't working, that's not working, this is not working. I think they've overreacted. That's my just guess, to be honest. Maybe they've just been planning this the whole way, but for the way, like I think Mixwell's best suited when he is on the up. I think like him on Chamber, him on Jet.
You kind of diffed him the other day.
I mean, listen. Mixwell's good. Mixwell's good. I'm fucking incredible. You know what I mean? So there's a difference there.
I wanted to say that myself, but then you just he's gonna go for it himself. You know, he's like
They got it out.
Well, Mixwell, I think Mixwell's too good to not have to be on Chamber or Jet, in my opinion.
That's literally.
Once
what
again,
we're
I
saying
don't know
on
the inner
this.
workings. Yeah.
Last 2 bits then now with agents and map picks. What do numbers say? We're going to explore them, talk about compositions as we kind of wrap up this week of patches. Chamber on top. Any surprises?
Chamber needs to get nerfed. That's all I'm saying.
What else would you change personally? Because we all theorcraft on what we would change. Me personally, I would maybe remove some bullets from the ultimate, maybe from the sheriff as well. So what would you change to make the agent a little bit more fair?
I think the best thing to do is keep his whole util kit, but change the trap for something a bit more aggressive. Because right now, the thing with Chamber is you can kind of play Chamber and kind of not run a Sentinel because he kind of has the trip for info. So I think if you get rid of the trip, make him a duelist and like add like another ability that's I couldn't think of one right now, but I think just get rid of the trip. Make sure he's not a Sentinel, like Sentinel, so-called Sentinel, and yeah, I think that will change.
You're moving to a duelist.
Yeah, I think he's a duelist.
Okay.
I think all his util gets him kills. His ult
And it's a
gets him kills.
rework.
His heal gets him
It's
kills.
not a nerf.
Yeah, then he needs a definitely different.
I don't think
piece of kit.
I don't think it's a too much of a rework though. I think it's just one ability. I think like I don't know because I think the TP again. Maybe you have had the TP where you can only TP once. Like Jet, you know when you have to kill 2 people so you can dash again.
Okay. Yeah.
Have the same thing. Like I think that would be the most common sense one, which will make sense without changing too much. But I still think he needs to get rid of the trap. But I don't understand how Jet. Imagine Jet could dash every 20 seconds. Like that would be broken.
Well,
so I can chamber TP every 20 seconds. Like to me, that makes no sense to me. But like,
there's a difference between like the freedom of the Jet and the anchors that the Chamber has to set up to be able to TP. Right? For me, it was always like, let's just give Chamber a possibility to TP, but if his TP gets destroyed, then the possibility of TPing for the round is not possible anymore because the TP got just destroyed, right? So he needs to recall it manually.
And more numbers. We got maps.
Oh yeah.
Actually.
Okay. I wanted to ask one more thing about Fate because
Go ahead. We're
Go ahead, Lothar.
others, before we go into those maps, like Okay, production's telling me to go maps. Okay, but on French, there's Fate. No,
Go
but
for it.
we had so many maps in the first week not being played. Like we didn't see Breeze at all. We didn't see Bind, if I remember correctly. But now we see that those maps are picking up. For your team, when it comes to the map selection, is there like reason why you dislike any maps or like love any maps?
For us, we just go off practice and how it feels in prac. So the certain maps that we prac that we just don't like, we just understand that we don't have the correct feel in the game. So like we'll just be doing stupid mistakes, we'll be doing that mistakes. But there's sort of certain maps that we just know, like we'll prac twice in a week, and we just know we're very good in that map. It's like I don't want to say the exact maps, but like there's maps that we'll play once in like every 2 weeks, and we'll just fundamentally be strong on it. And there's certain maps where we understand that like, listen, we're like we have a lot of work to do on this. And I think
sorry, go on.
And I think every team just has their own ones where like the team as a 5 just don't like playing. Like I remember in my past maps, like past teams I'd like a certain map. We go into FPX, I don't like the map as much. It's like it's how you fit as a 5 on the team, I think. And every map's different for every team, I think.
Okay, so talking about maps, let me ask you a little bit about Breeze, because obviously it was a very strong fit for FOKUS, and also you were not there last time that your team played onto Breeze. So tell me a little bit about the preparation, and also, because we asked this to Doombro, so I already have an answer, but I want your personal answer on how you felt the preparation was.
Yeah, well, our preparation was like top of the top, to be honest. Like Doom Bros does a lot of our work for us. Like before he used to do it with Gorilla. I think that guy signed with
Vitality.
Vitality, yeah. They used to have like a good relationship. They used to give like good results, like good combos.
He's great.
But now it's Eric doing it on his own, and it's still unbelievable. Like everything that Eric said, pretty much worked to a T. And like he gave us little tendencies, little ideas, little what could work, what could not work, and basically Eric done a lot of good work for us. So yeah, I'm happy with him.
All right, that kind of brings us to our final point. Ardis, thank you very much for joining us. And anything you want to say to fans out there?
I want to say God bless and follow me on Twitter. Big up everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
God bless.
and good luck next week.
I was going to say YouTube.
That's okay.
Yeah, this is the bit.
We all need a bit of luck. Don't worry about it.
God bless. God bless.
Wonderful to have him on, to have a chat about all of this. Friends, thank you very much for this wonderful weekend. It's my first one here at VCT, and I had a lot of fun with everybody. And I hope that you enjoyed our matches. 6 incredible ones, but we're at the halfway point of week 3. There's still 2 more to go to decide who can make it further into the playoffs and see who can make it into Masters. From all of us here, thank you so much for watching. We will see you next Friday for more VCT EMEA action. But NA is coming up in just a bit in case you want to watch it. Tier 2 Valorant, yada, 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 the whole spiel. Until then, take care. We love you so much. Good night.
You can't stop me now. You can't stop me now.